I was mostly focusing on, doing something in startups.
Sure.
बड़ा interesting था Sachin Bansal और, in Mukesh Bansal और इन सब लोगों की journey. In fact, that was one article that I read in, I think, one of these very popular magazines. उसका cutout भी मेरे पास पड़ा है कहीं घर पे. वो मेरे को बहुत इंस्पायरिंग लगा था कि यार ई-कॉमर्स मतलब घर बैठ के सामान बेचना है तो बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है, हमें तो सब आता है ये. तो I was very fascinated by the power of communicating with customers without seeing them, and pan India. Matlab, the idea that you could sit in anywhere and you don't need a window, because those were the things that really limited my parents' business and my family's business, right? कि यार उतना ही हो सकता है बस वहाँ बैठ के.
Correct.
So yeah, somehow I think that my career started when as soon as I graduated, 6 months into it, I started up Poster Gully, which was my first venture. It was a marketplace for artists, designers to come and basically, it started as a pure trading business. I started importing artwork. Then I built a platform on top of it. And we grew. After the first year, we grew month on month. We were growing at least 10-15%. Bootstrap business. 4-5-10 log the starting mein. 50% net margins. We closed the first year at about 1.5-2 CR.
Wow.
And we were still not registered company. We were like not even a proprietorship. Sab chalta tha us time pe. So, and then we did something. Sab dheere. I learned every piece of building a business while building the business. Beautiful. So many mistakes I was continuously making, but and there was so much of fearlessness, right? Because at that time you feel yaar to kar liya. So and it was a lot of money for somebody like me, because I was coming from a 18-20,000 रुपए की job मैं छोड़ के ये करने लग गया था. And that's the hard reality of it. I was working 18 hours a day, but and एक दिन क्या हुआ, बड़ा interesting incident है. My mom used to help me. So मेरे टेरेस पे ही ना हमने ऑफिस बना लिया था makeshift. 5-6-7 लोग बैठ जाते थे वहां पे. अब वो फर्स्ट ईयर ऑफ द बिजनेस की बात बता रहा हूँ मैं. अब ये फर्स्ट ईयर ऑफ द बिजनेस में ये इंसिडेंट हुआ. देयर वाज सम ग्लास बॉटल, बिकॉज़ इट वाज अ टेरेस, तो सारा जंक रखते थे वहां पे. बिल्कुल. और मैं कटिंग कर रहा था. आई वाज डूइंग सम पैकेजिंग. एंड वो कट करते हुए दैट बॉटल काइंड ऑफ फेल ऑन द फ्लोर एंड इट कट माय फिंगर. एंड वो उस टाइम पे इतना स्ट्रेस था मुझे पता भी नहीं चला. एज अ 21-year-old, 22-year-old, and I fainted, and there was nobody at home. Oh, shit. So that was the time when my parents had a serious conversation with me that evening. Ki, you do what you're doing, but this is not how you can build this. You cannot one person packaging 300 packets a day and dispatching it. It's not humanly possible.
Correct.
Learn how to build a team. Learn how to build a business, because what you're doing is not going to, it's not sustainable. Of course. तो यार वो एक घंटी बजी, गया ऑफिस लिया जाके, took a small 10-seater initially. This is all in the first year of the business. Beautiful. And then there was no looking back. यार मतलब वो लिया, उसके बाद we kept on growing. At the peak of the company, we were doing about I think we closed the best year of business at about 6.5-7 crores. Wow. 50 odd people, 50% net margins, massive. Beautiful. All bootstrap. थोड़ा बहुत हमने पैसा रेस किया था. It was a huge mistake that we did, but the company didn't need it. But थोड़ा सा, I was, again, mistakes, right? One big mistake was not foreseeing or not preempting what Amazon could do in India. And 2014, Amazon entered India. And I knew Amazon, Flipkart, all these people were flouting FDI policies. कभी ना कभी तो उनका बजना था. बट गवर्नमेंट ने बजाया नहीं जल्दी. बिल्कुल. तो चैलेंज क्या हुआ, वो आए, वो सेलर्स, from an inventory model, they had to move to a seller model, and then that sellers were not, there was no control over these sellers. कुछ भी चल रहा था, and we were in the business of IP. Correct. Because we were licensing a lot of these characters, we were commissioning artists. हम जो चीज 500 रुपए की बेच रहे थे वो 100 रुपए की बिकने लग गई Amazon पे. And within 6 months, the monthly run rate fell 50%. Our gross margin shrunk, and we became a commodity overnight.
Oh, shit.
And you're not selling on Amazon because of all the issues surrounding our own backend, our own operations. So, yeah, 2015-16, I exited the business. By the grace of God, it was the best time to exit the business also. At that time, because we got a great exit, and everything kind of for that business fell through after that, because वो timing का game था.
Correct.
Timing सही थी, बस we were the first ones to build something on for the e-commerce.
Absolutely.
तो उसके बाद फिर यार I started something in the B2B e-commerce space. That's a story in itself, but yeah, that never took off, because Poster Gully was a big passion project turned into a business.
Sure.
It was my own need, and then this business was a pure market opportunity. I actually raised money before even building the business.
Wow.
And that was a big blunder. That was one of my biggest learnings, to never do that, because we did not have a product market fit. We did not forget about PMF. We did not even have a product.
Correct.
We did not even understand the market, and we raised money. So and people love to do it today. Love लगता है यार 5-6 करोड़ पे उठा लो और बनाते हैं. वो 5-6 करोड़ पे कहाँ जाते हैं ना, to go after a very, very large market. So we're trying to do something for the homeowners, so we're trying to connect three parties that are three kind of entities that are party to building a home or a commercial space. So builders, developers, and then brand owners. So all the brand that I use, and then these homeowners or commercial space owners. So owners, brands, and architects and designers.
Beautiful.
We're trying to get all of them on one single platform and then monetize this platform at the right time.
Got it.
We also did exhibitions. We started a magazine because immediate revenues nahi the. Isme kisi ko chamak hi nahi raha tha.
Correct.
Overall, I feel it was a very, very good learning in what not to do.
What not to do.
नहीं करना business में, sales teams के साथ क्या नहीं करना, sales teams कैसे बनानी है. Because this business was a sales business, we didn't realize it till the very end.
Correct.
And then here I, luckily because I had investors, I just sold my equity to them, which was just a swap actually.
Correct.
It was not meaningful at all.
Right.
This is 2018 is ये हुआ 2 साल 15-16 में वो किया 16-17 ये business, so it did not ever take off, but massive learnings from it.
Right.
I in fact what all the savings that I had, some part of the savings went into it, but it was not a lot. But then when Rage was starting, I had committed all of my savings, whatever I had made, to starting Rage Coffee, or rather at that time there was no Rage Coffee, just this new venture.
Got it.
Yeah, journey uske बाद 2018, that entire year I spent in building Rage Coffee's foundation.
Okay.
And that was the time, I went back to the drawing board. I got married in 2017 end. So realization was very, very tough period actually. क्योंकि उस टाइम पे समझ आया कि यार I really wanted to build something for the next 10-15 years at least.
Wow.
Okay, there was no shortcuts at that point.
Absolutely.
It had to be. I was willing to give it all my time initially.
Correct.
But start करने के बाद there could not have been any mistakes or only steps. But ये नहीं कि market नहीं है, customer नहीं है. कस्टमर की प्रोपेंसिटी नहीं है पे करने की, मार्केट में सप्लाई चेन इश्यूज है, कोई भी फंडामेंटल इशू नहीं होना चाहिए था.
बिल्कुल.
एंड दैट एंटायर ईयर वेंट इन दैट आई रिटेन माय टीम इन द ऑपरेशंस. 8-10 लोग रिटेन किए. कुछ काम नहीं था, बैठाते थे एंड जस्ट जनरल चिट चैट करते थे वो आपस में पूरा दिन. It was a tough time, yeah, because that's the time you start questioning your own self. You start questioning your own abilities as an entrepreneur. चमका वो फ्लूक था, फिर से बन सकता है कभी कुछ. And it's when you have family, यार, it just completely every playbook that you have goes out of the window.
Goes out of the window.
सारा टैलेंट ना घुटनों पे आ जाता है जब पैसे जब में नहीं होते हैं.
बिल्कुल.
Basically.
बिल्कुल.
Right? And because capital is like gunpowder, यार. what do अपने लिए थोड़ा ना कंपनी के लिए है, कंपनी चलाने के लिए गन पाउडर है वो, गन पाउडर नहीं है आपके पास तो आपके पास जितने भी अच्छे एस्पिरेशंस हैं, जितने भी अच्छे आइडियाज हैं, नहीं हो सकता कुछ भी.
Correct.
And that's the hard reality of it.
It's a hard reality.
If you have seen cases where people have coded something and gotten $1 million, yeah, I'm not so lucky I know in life. Luck is the last thing I can be dependent on.
Right. Right.
So we are bus spent the entire year in just building this base product, supply chain pura toda, samjhe gaps, consumers pe saath, spent several days with manufacturers and consumers alike.
Wow.
पूरी ट्रेड छाट मारी थी, पूरी ट्रेड जो रिटेलर से लेके, होलसेलर से लेके, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर से लेके, मैन्युफैक्चरर से लेके, इंपोर्टर से लेके, कि यार where do we stand and is there a product to be built here or not?
Correct.
कोई सर्वे नहीं था उस टाइम पे. आज भी देखोगे ना, सर्विस तो rather service, I would say market research comes only after you have done it.
पहले तो वो सर्वे ही है.
Right. And I had to do all primary research in understanding the need of the consumer.
Correct.
So that entire year was spent. In fact, by the end of that year, I was still not convinced about the product, but I had to launch it because I'd run out of money. वो एक सोचो तो दो ही लगता है, वही हुआ मेरे साथ.
बिल्कुल.
So yeah, that is the story. And then obviously race started and then अभी चल रहा है.